Peace. What's happening, good people? This gift here for Pay Us No Mind. And today we're talking about how to sell your music online. Now, this is an episode that's targeted towards the beginner. I have people reach out to me sometimes and they say, hey man, this stuff is over my head. People talking about how to get Spotify streams and stuff like that. I'm just trying to figure out, how do I start? Where do I start? And you start by getting your music in places where it can be consumed and bought. Now, there are different ways to sell your music online. You could always, sell your music on your website and things of that nature. But what I'm going to talk about today is digital distribution and getting your music in all of the stores where people can buy it, because selling your music sometimes on your website, can be counterproductive because not everybody wants to go to your website to buy. Some people want to buy from iTunes, Amazon, where they consume, where they shop. Let's say, some people use Spotify, and it's like, well, how do you get your music in those places? And those places require you to have digital distribution. They do not deal with artists directly. So if you want to get your music into those places, you need a digital distributor, a store or a platform that serves the purpose of distributing your music to Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, things of that nature. Now, there are a multitude of digital distributors. I cover a lot of them. I do reviews of them and stuff like that. But in my opinion, the best one is TuneCore. That's the one that I use. That's the one that I recommend other artists use. And that's the one I recommend you use. Now, using a distributor like TuneCore to get your music in stores, you need certain things, right? You need cover artwork, which is a graphic file that has your face, your beautiful face on the cover, or some beautiful artwork. Could be somebody standing on a block, a photo of something, a drawing of something, but something compelling that attracts people's attention. And that artwork needs to be formatted correctly. That cover artwork needs to be a square, not a rectangle, but a square. And it needs to be of a certain resolution. TuneCore requires 1600 by 1600, so it has to be 1600 pixels by 1600 pixels at least in order to be accepted by them for distribution. So you got your cover artwork, you got your audio file, and your audio file needs to be formatted correctly as well. You have some distributors that accept MP3s. TuneCore is a distributor that does not. In order to distribute your music with TuneCore, you need a WAV file. So you need the master audio file in order to do digital distribution with TuneCore. So if you have an MP3 file, you want to go back to wherever you recorded it or whoever you recorded it with and request that they give you a WAV file for you to upload for digital distribution. So that's one thing that you're going to need. And you're also going to want to have a list of the people that you work with. The names of the other artists, if you have other artists that featured on the work, other artists that you're collaborating with, you want their names and you want their roles. So if somebody was a background singer, play guitar, something like that, you're going to want to put those things down, because when you go through the process of uploading your release to a digital distributor, especially TuneCore, they're going to want that information, because right now in music, there's a big thing with attribution and making sure everybody that played the role in the song gets paid and stuff like that. So if you want to take care of people, you want to make sure you put all of those people down so they can get their credit in Spotify. And also, if they're entitled to a percentage of the revenue, be it through sound exchange, stuff like that, they can get it, because they're on the list as being a contributor to the release. So you want the names of all of those people and their involvement and stuff like that. Another thing you're going to want is to have a release date in mind when you come to set up digital distribution and some form of a plan, because you don't want to just plop your music out there as soon as possible. Like, can I get it up tonight, tomorrow even? Because you need time to develop demand for your release. So when it comes, it can perform well. And there's a lot of people waiting for it. And at the same time, when you do digital distribution, not all of the stores get your release at the same time. So some stores might be able to get it up within 24 to 48 hours, but then it's not available everywhere else. So if you say, hey, my song is available in iTunes, and you run out and promote it, then other people who use Spotify or Apple Music won't have access to it. And if you do a real big push where you're on Twitter and Instagram and you're like, my album's out, now you got everybody excited and they got nowhere to go with that excitement. And you don't get a second chance at a first impression. So you come out and you jump out and you say it's out, and then people can't get it. And then you come back and you say, well, now it's available on Spotify. Well, the momentum is gone. The excitement is gone. And you kind of like lost that opportunity. So you want to have this one day where it's available everywhere, and you can come out and you can say, hey guys, you can get it now, and everybody can go stream it, buy it, talk to each other about it. Momentum builds, and kind of like inspires more activity around the song. So you want to set a release date. You want to be able to set your release date well into the future, maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks into the future. You also might want to consider doing a pre-order, and that's something else that TuneCore facilitates very well, because not only do they allow artists to do pre-orders, but they also allow you to do instant gratification tracks where you can give an individual song away to somebody before the album actually drops. So you got your album dropping May 30th, somebody buys the pre-order April 2nd, and they can get one of the songs off of the album when they download it or when they pre-order it on April 2nd. So one song they would get instantly, and that is an instant gratification track. Now, additionally, they also allow you to set a different price for the release during the pre-order that it will be when it actually drops. So you can say, hey, I'm only going to sell my album for $1 during the pre-order and $10 when it actually drops, which incentivizes people to buy it during the pre-order. And the purpose of a pre-order is that you can accumulate sales over a duration of time that would count towards your first week's sales. So if you do a pre-order of 2 months, you could be accumulating sales for 2 months and then have all of those sales that you accumulated for the whole 2 months be attributed to the sales of your album during the first week, which can help you chart. Because when you drop an album, you got friends, family, even if that's just your network, those people are gonna buy it incrementally. I get paid on Friday and I'll go and buy it. Hey, so-and-so owe me money. Soon as he pay me back next week, I'll go and buy it. So you get few sales this week, few sales that week, and that does not look impressive to these platform algorithms and isn't gonna let you chart. So doing a pre-order allows all of those sales to roll in, for this guy to get his money back from that guy and buy it, and this person to get paid on Friday and buy it, and that person to get paid on Thursday and buy it, and have all of those sales count towards your first week. So that is a valuable thing, and also being able to sell it for cheaper and incentivize people to buy it early to get a deal, right, is another great thing. So that's something that you want to take advantage of. So you got to have your release date set into the future. And then when you come to your pre-order date, you want to be able to set your pre-order date at a time that gives you enough time to get pre-orders before your album drops. So, you might set your album release date to June 30th. And then you got all of the rest of April and May to promote and get pre-orders until June comes when your album actually releases, right? You got the rest of April, you got May, you got most of June until the album drops to generate pre-orders that can count towards your first week sales. So that is another thing that you want to do. So you got the pre-order aspect and being able to set dates, right? No, okay, here's my pre-order date. My pre-order date is this date, and that gives me 2 months for my release date, which is on this month, right? And you mark down these dates so you know when they are, and you get your promotional material together and get ready to start pushing. But those are the things that you're gonna need for digital distribution. You're gonna need to know what your pre-order date is. If you're gonna have a pre-order, if you're gonna do a pre-order, you wanna know what your release date is, and have a time set up to give yourself enough time to recover if anything happens. So, which date into the future you wanna set your release date up for. You're gonna wanna have your cover artwork in an acceptable format, JPEG, PNG, 1600 by 1600 format, square size, not rectangle or anything like that, but a square size, right? High resolution, good imagery, everything like that. TuneCore also does not want anything on the cover artwork like logos or anything like that. You know, like don't put no Spotify logos or nothing like that on there. Don't put no copyright on there. Just have it be the cover artwork. If you got the featured artist name and stuff up there, make sure that it's the same artist that you are mentioning or putting down in the metadata when you upload the release to TuneCore. That's going to be important as well. So those are things that you will want, and your audio file has to be in a WAV format. You know, so you need a WAV audio file. And if you have those things, then you're good to go. And you can go to TuneCore, set up a release, and, you know, click send and send it to all of the stores that you want to send it to, and you'll be off to the races. And that's how you would do digital distribution and for your first release and everything like that. And in the description box, there's a link to try TuneCore. If you want to start with them and you want that to be your first company, you can do that. You get 20% off your first release by using TuneCore and that link right there. If anybody got any kind words for anybody starting out, any advice for anybody making their way into this game and dropping their first release, please feel free to comment. If you are somebody who is just diving in and this is your first release, probably because this is a video that you're watching, comment. You know, any issues you have, anything like that, definitely comment, man. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. This is Gift signing off. Pay us no mind. Peace, good people. One.